to the edge of the lake, or the pond, it's more than 50 feet. I could put a 28-foot roadbed in here to the property. I just don't want to do it. I could build this and then close it off and not allow it to be used, and I'll just continue using this driveway anyways. Any reason I can't do that? Just give everybody access to the driveway and say use that. We'll have your town road. We'll put it in a place we don't want it. We won't use it.
Well, I don't know what Jimmy Fugal would say, but I think you'd be in violation if you don't go substandard. Well, if the grades don't meet the specs and so forth.
No, this isn't the town road. This is the town. This is the open development road.
Okay, but your other road leading down the back road.
Just a trail.
So you're talking about changing this to 50 feet
No,
and then putting.
I already own the whole width there.
Right.
Okay. So I.
But you
I've
need a
got
50-foot strip.
Well, that's just imagination. I just wait. 50 feet is vacant. The real thing is the 28 feet that's within the 50 feet.
But it's a separate entity.
Right.
It's not part of another lot, it's a separate entity.
Right,
It's a
it
road.
needs to be separate.
It doesn't belong to any lot.
It's got to have its own, carry its own deed.
Technically, it doesn't even have a deed from a tax point of view. Like the one I just showed you where I live, if you go, you can go and look at this as a subdivision, and see this T-shaped.
It doesn't belong to any lot. You go to the center line of that road.
It's a separate piece of chunk of land, and if you go talk to Bill Cook, nobody pays taxes on that. From a subdivision point of view, if you go look at the Ulster County parcel map, from that point of view, it looks like a regular road. So the lots don't go to the center of it, it's a separate piece of it. And then the reason is that, and the reason you build it to town code, and the reason it has to be like that is, you could deed it to the town, and if you do it, then it has to be a separate piece of property. And that's the whole purpose of the open development. And we're not talking about what you might do in the next 5, 10, 15 years, is what somebody might do 50 years from now.
And you're saying that does not have a tax map lot designation?
Because it's a road.
But the town doesn't own it yet. Why would they do that? You're not getting collecting revenue on it any longer.
No.
And it's not yours.
Because it's being set up so that it could be deeded over to the town for town maintenance and plowing and all that stuff.
Why would the town want to do that?
Well, you could argue that road makes those lots more valuable.
Well, of course it is.
Well, then those lots get taxed. That's where you make a difference.
Yeah, without this, you couldn't have these 6 lots.
Right. And without access, I can't have 5 lots.
Right.
So are you in favor, are you neutral to our having 5 lots there, or are you opposed to us having 5 lots there? Or are you favorable if we can jump through this narrow burning hoop?
I don't think any of us have anything against subdividing it as long as we can do it within the code of the town.
Okay.
And the code says you've got to do an open development.
So
If you want 5 lots there, if you want 1 lot there, you don't have to, you already got what you need to do.
or if I want 2, I can do 1 here and 1 there. I can do 2 lots.
As long as they both have access to a public road.
Yeah.
That's
That's
Chase
just
Road,
Yeah, you get the
that's
road
Chase Road.
right away there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew there was a reason I shouldn't have let the state have as much land as they insisted on. Perfect home site. $50 feet. We'll look for it.
Okay.
Thank you, gentlemen, ladies.
All right, thank you.
Well, Jerry Lockman's office called confirming that filed subdivision map that needed a note on it, that had a clause, no building shall be be erecting them. And then they were gonna take that off, but in order to do that, they have to refile a subdivision map. I'm just going by a phone call I got from Lochner's office. I think Helen mentioned it last month.
Oh, yes.
It was a separate lot that wasn't to be built on.
Yeah, we did a
Yeah.
lot line revision several years ago
Yes.
to the benefit of Stone Warner.
Yes.
And because at the time we didn't have anything going with the state, I thought maybe the family wanted to put a house nearby, because there's a nice little shelf there. And they didn't want a house being built next to it. Well, now it's immaterial to us, because we don't own that land, the state owns.
Okay.
So they've asked us to remove the restriction, which we're completely agreeable to.
Right.
But we signed the survey map with that restriction on the survey map, so Wapner's saying we gotta sign the reciprocal to remove it. We had no opposition to that, we'll sign.
Yeah,
So we just bring that before you for,
I think so. Yeah.
it's the same exact map, it just has a note on it for the restriction to be taken off.
Right, yeah. I think that's okay.
Okay, so what do I need to leave this with you?
Now, is, that belongs to Werner Sewer.
Sewer.
Okay. The purpose for taking the restrictions are off so he can sell it for a higher price to the city? Or,
So no, didn't ask. He asked,
or he's going to develop it?
you never know, do you? I don't know. He asked me, I said, we don't care.
But the neighbors don't care.
Well, maybe.
I seem to recall that when that was done, there was discussion about that, and that's, was part of the agreement for the subdivision.
It was not a subdivision, it was a lot line revision.
It's in our town, it's a subdivision. There's no distinction about lot line versus subdivision as far as what we have to do.
Okay.
Yeah, two lots were combined.
So how does that work when they put that note on there, they own the lot? But now they don't own the lot anymore, so
But we're the dominant.
do they have the
We're the
authority to
dominant.
take it off?
We're the dominant entity, I don't know what the one they would call it, we're the dominant entity in regards to that restriction.
Okay.
We put it on, and apparently we're the ones that have to take it off.
I was just going by what the attorney's office was.
Well, I'm saying if somebody bought a lot and said there's never gonna be a house here, knowingly that there's a restriction on this land, and then somebody builds it, so that impacts the value of their land.
Yeah. They wouldn't be able to build with that restriction on it, it's.
You're taking that off,
Yeah.
right?
I'm willing to take it off, yes. What we're talking about is this piece here.
This was added to this lot.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what they did with it, we just sold them the parcel. I think a lot line adjusted either to this lot or to this lot, I don't know. They own it with them.
It's all one lot now.
Okay.
This is one lot.
Yeah.
But this has been rewritten to remove it, right?
Pardon?
You've rewritten this last note to remove the
Right,
restriction.
the only thing different from before is that, no,
Right?
so
I mean,
this has been filed in the clerk's office and all that, and, you know, so approved by the planning board. And now, the only thing, now it's the same map, but now with a note on there to take the restriction off. That was my direction from, the attorney's office. I thought they were in contact with the planning board, but.
well, the first I heard about it was our last meeting when Helen was here. She thought that was gonna be on our agenda that week,
Right.
but it wasn't. But I would think that we have to handle this as if it's subdivision, you know. Basically have a public hearing and approve it.
Combine the two lots, that you consider as subdivision?
Well, in our code, there's no distinction between like a subdivision or a lot